Welcome to the Fantasy Throwdown Podcast, bringing you the latest updates from the world of sports, gambling, and pop culture. Because you can't have a show without hot takes or a Tiger King meme these days. Know what I'm saying? Now, with over 200 episodes and ready to get after it again, here's your host, Dwayne Callender.
Okay, folks, we have a situation here. For Monday Night Football, we've got a classic snow game, a rotation nightmare, because we got not one, but two running back by committees on both sides of the ball for both the Patriots and Bills tonight. So you got 6 running backs to take into account. Not one, not two, not three, 6 running backs. Because Zach Moss is active at $600 on DraftKings for the Bills. And just off of the chatter, it looks like Moss is going to have some carries. I mean, this is an awful looking game. Bad weather. You got 2 small backs on the Bills side because Matt Breida and Devin Singletary are not really workhorse backs, in my opinion. I mean, could you say that there was going to be a, resurgence of Zach Moss? Absolutely not. But what I am saying here is there's just going to be a lot of running back work just eating into each other where guys are going to be cannibalizing the workload to the point where I know you have to play running backs, but this is like a mass multi-entering slate because we could find ourselves in a spot where very low scoring game. This line is 40. I'm taking the under. I don't see how, with you not being able to punt effectively, not being able to kick field goals, I don't know where the points are coming from where you're going to get a ton of action with passing routes. The winds are up to 50 miles per hour. It's snowing. It's cold. The ball's going to be a brick. I'm taking the under here. So this eliminates a ton of options, to be perfectly honest. So let's go back to basics here. What do we know? The Bills don't run the ball effectively. They like to chuck the ball all the way across the field. Now, I've talked about Josh Allen's regression this year. He is not accurate. Truth be told, this is going to be one of the more egregious captain plays I'm going to suggest. But the fact that he's forced to have to just dump off passes leads me to think that this is going to be a Cole Beasley game. Because, again, you could try to force the ball to Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Diggs, while he can beat the coverage, Bill Belichick knows Stephon Diggs can beat the coverage. He's going to have so many dudes on Stephon Diggs to slow him down at the line of scrimmage. I can't see where Stephon Diggs is going to be able to take a slant to the house because there's going to be 2 guys on him the entire time. Unless they blow the coverage and they run into I don't see where Stephon Diggs in this climate is going to beat the Pats defense. Because the Pats know they have to shut down Stephon Diggs. It's going to be their number one priority. So even with all the dysfunction going on with this game and the weather, I look at this as the Bills are still going to try to find a way to chuck the ball. And I don't really know that they can deviate that much by just trying to run. It's just not their MO, and it's going to play more into the Pats' hands. So I think this is going to be a Cole Beasley game where they kind of run the short yardage pass plays. And yes, could it also go to Emmanuel Sanders? Yes, it certainly can. But in terms of the really short throws, that's where Cole Beasley makes his living as opposed to Sanders. If this was an 8 to 12 yard passing route, yeah, you could definitely go there. But I think this is closer to a 4 to 5 yard route aspect where the Bills are going to just have to try to use a short yardage pass game to make it work. And at the end of the day, I think that's the biggest weapon they have is just trying to use the fact that they're going to be in a little bit of a makeshift offense. They want to take shots down the field. I just don't see how. If, if this was a better weather environment where you could throw down the field with wind, yeah, I could make it more of a case for Stephon Diggs. Tonight, it's like I don't see where you can say uh I mean, I'm not gonna say fade Stephon Diggs, but the problem here is Stephon Diggs is at 10-6. And yes, you could fit him in if we go cute with some of the alignments. But I think the running backs on the Patriots are going to get so much run between Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris, Brandon Bolden in the passing downs that I think you can have all three Patriots running backs and you can run Cole Beasley captain. Now, you don't have to jam in all the running backs. The other play I would say that you have to very much consider in play are both defenses. Given the weather, you're going to likely see some turnovers just because guys trying to fit the ball in, bad weather, wind, and of course, because everyone's slowed down, everyone's going to be grabbing at hands all night long. Because of the lower scoring, the defenses definitely come into play here. Uh, pass catching back. So Bolden, for the Patriots, I think is an excellent play here, in my opinion. On the Bill side, you know, there's questions as to which back is really going to get the work in terms of action. Breida's at 6,600. He got priced up. I mean, is he the lead back for Buffalo? No. Is Devin Singletary the lead back? No. He's 4,600. Zach Moss, we already talked about him at 600. They're saying he's going to get a higher workload. I still don't buy that as him being the lead back. I just think that this is such a hodgepodge situation for the Buffalo running back situation that, yeah, you could throw darts on them. I just only want one of Buffalo running back. If I'm doing 20 plus lineups, I only want one of the three. I don't want two or more. I think with the Patriots, you can make your choice between Harris and Ramondre Stevenson and then play them with Bolden. I don't have any issues with that. I do have concerns about roster construction with multiple Bills running backs because I just see a lot of cannibalization, and they're still going to chuck more to New England. Josh Allen is still going to have more pass attempts than Mac Jones. That's just going to be a given. So to me, I think you got to pick your receiver on the Buffalo side. My choice would be going Beasley over Sanders and then Diggs. Yes, I'm going to say it. I think Diggs is the third option tonight. God help me. It could burn me badly, but I don't necessarily see Diggs getting there with Bill Belichick. I think this is just one of those cases where he's just going to try to make Stephon Diggs' life miserable. And the weather conditions give him so much more opportunity to do so because it just slows down all the explosive plays that Diggs would normally be able to pull off without a hitch, to be perfectly honest. So the only other thing I would say here out of this matchup is no kickers. Absolutely no kickers. It makes no sense to playing the kickers tonight because straight up, like you're watching these warm-ups, these kicks, any attempt is going sideways. I don't understand where we're going to be able to see much points in this game. So yeah, play light tonight if you're playing at all, but really hard to see that much scoring going on. like I said, I want to focus on the pass catching back, so I want Bolden. On the Bills side, just give me Cole Beasley. I'm not even going to play around with it. I just think they pepper Cole Beasley with targets. It's like, even a Dawson Knox, I'm not as high on, because Dawson Knox is more of the red zone short yardage guy, if anything else. I just want to take Beasley and maybe some Emmanuel Sanders. But, yeah, I don't see that much in terms of moving the ball around in terms of these offenses. So give me the Patriots running backs, lots of punts, playing the defenses, and just let it ride from there, because I just don't see the points coming in this game. I'm definitely taking the under 40 and just let it go. Just watching this game strictly on the Manning cast, because this shapes up to be a very boring game, even though there's a lot on the line with the AFC East potentially on the line here in terms of the matchup. If New England pulls away with a win and gets it in Buffalo, I mean, this is huge. If New England can get a win in Buffalo while being up in the division. So big stakes here, taking the under, playing defenses, playing running backs, and call it a day. So that's all. That's going to do it for me, folks. Good luck tonight, and maybe we get a decent game, but this looks pretty ugly, to be perfectly honest. So that's all for now. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy Throwdown Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all other major outlets.